What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back on the pod. It is a special day. It is a very special day, y'all.
Period.
Guess what? We got back backlash.
Oh man.
You had one job to be ready for it.
Was that the applause? Hold on, y'all.
That was it. The applause was it?
I hope so. Hold on. Let me tap back in. Hold on. It was.
Okay.
It was.
Hilarious. Welcome back, my good sis. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Things have definitely advanced since the last time I've been here.
Yes.
A lot more lights, a lot more cameras. So I'm really proud of y'all.
Here's how we do.
Yes. Still working on the ones and twos.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nothing has changed there.
I have a lot to do. I wish we do a behind the scenes segment because it's a lot that goes into this. We don't wake up like this. The quality just don't pop up like this. I was doing things.
No, but I'm so proud of y'all because I feel like we elevate every single time.
Amen.
We should do it behind the scenes because I feel like they need to see.
Oh my gosh, have we reached the level of watch our setup? Like, here's our setup. Like, are we like?
No, probably
are we
not.
YouTubers?
And that's okay.
I think we are. I think if you would like to know what equipment we use in our setup, please DM, let us know.
DM Bria.
DM me, your handy dandy technical producer.
That's screaming.
Anyway.
But welcome back to Say Some with the 20-some.
Y'all talk now.
We're working on it.
That was good.
You did your best. You did your best, babe.
I'm proud of you.
It was good.
It was good.
Thanks.
Well, we are back for another podcast, and I'm glad that we have the visuals here on and poppin'. And today we have an interesting topic. Again, we always do. But we are going to talk about what we would want to give our younger selves. The nuggets, the tips, anything that we want to give a younger version of ourselves. And not that we can go back and change anything, because the past is the past. Mm-hmm. And this is not about regrets, but just like, what would you say to a version of you if you saw them walking by and be like, hey girl, don't do it. Don't go to that school. No, I'm just kidding. I rock with the school. But, just like those types of things, like, oh, man.
Fun things.
A young me would need to know this. And even if we don't have any younger viewers, but if we did, what's like a piece of advice that you would give them?
That's very cute. That's a very cute topic. That's very fun.
Before we preface it, though, we should talk about how we were like when we were younger. Like, what was the characteristics of our younger selves?
Gosh.
What were you like in your tween years?
In my tween years, I have repressed memories from those times. Guys, I was going through puberty. Like, it was really bad. Me? Go over there, please.
I don't even know how to describe a younger me. I was very involved. And I'm still very busy as an individual, but I was like in a lot of different things. But I think I was a lot calmer.
Interesting.
No, because y'all know, I grew up in like a very disciplined household, and I had to do things like a specific way, and it was a very religious upbringing. So I really feel like, in short, I was like pretty disciplined as an individual, and then my what do you like? Express yourself. My expression was was sports. I still do play sports, but I was like literally always in something and just everywhere. I was on go. So that's me in short.
I like that.
I wasn't in any sports. I wasn't in theater. I was very low key. I wasn't like a part of like the popular crew, but I feel like I was like right in the middle, and I was in a lot of like IB like courses.
You were a nerd.
I think
like say it with your chest, own it.
I was a nerd.
It's not like
that's all right, girl.
A's. I was like ABs.
There's more ways to be a nerd than one.
Okay, then.
Speak your truth, bud. That's all right.
I'm playing.
What are you trying to say?
She's not playing.
I'm not, because y'all was coming for me
like
in the first 30 seconds.
I wasn't like super involved in like, maybe I was in National Honor Society and stuff like that, but I wasn't a part of
That's
any
cute.
sports. Or I think I tried out for volleyball once, the JV team, and I don't think I've ever played volleyball, so it was very bold of me to try. I didn't make it, obviously.
So you were courageous and adventurous, risk taker. Something like that.
But I was like low key. But I wasn't also like, I was like in the middle.
I like
had,
that.
Like, different friend groups, but that was me.
That's cute, Mare. I want to see you. I need a visual. Hey.
We'll insert them in this video.
We sure will. Hey, everybody. I feel like I was a little bit the same and maybe a little bit. I feel like it was a little bit of the same, but maybe a little bit more reserved. When I was a kid, I was shy. I keep telling y'all I was shy as a kid. I grew into this. This is something I built and I forced myself to be. Anyway, when I was in middle school, I was in marching band, y'all. I was in marching band, but I was in the plays. And I did broadcast TV,
Hater.
so popular girl, but like she's busy. She has
You were
commitments.
well-rounded.
There we go, well-rounded.
You were in lacrosse too.
Lacrosse,
Period.
marching band, yeah, whole bunch of stuff. So what was my senior superlative? I got put up for most spirited, which was kind of crazy to me.
No way.
No, like literally.
I did too.
You know how we do. Go Hawks. Please, someone. Shout out to the Hawks. Shout out to Hayfield. You know how we do it.
Screaming.
Oh, that's crazy. But a little bit of razzle dazzle, a little emotional, but we reeled it in.
You were emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love her. Shout out to younger me.
The only reason why the reserve part just catch me off guard, but probably when you were younger.
Yeah.
But the first time I've ever seen you ever was on Twitter. That viral video that you posted about when you graduated high school with your diploma.
Twitter? I'm sorry. What was it?
Wait.
Oh, that was the first time you.
That was the first time I've ever seen you.
Stop.
And then I realized that we went to tech together.
That is so
But that was the first
embarrassing.
time I've ever seen you before.
Wait, what was
on
it? What was the
Twitter.
tweet?
Wow, now I have to go back and find the tweet. No, it was okay. This is back when like school districts finally got on Twitter and like we could like go back and forth. Anyway, there was a snow day got announced and all the kids talking about closed FCPS, closed Fairfax County. I'm like, this is fun. This is tea because I don't have to go to school. I got in my cap and gown and pulled out my graduation cap and laid in my bed with my bonnet, took a picture, and we was going viral every day on Twitter. I was going viral every day on Twitter. Like, it was kind of embarrassing. The Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Vine era of myself. Fun, but let's put her back. Let's put her in the.
I mean, when you were at tech, your Twitter was still even like popping.
Yeah, the Twitter was eating.
You were hilarious on Twitter. I was like, this is a fun girl.
We had to reel that in. She's a very fun girl, but we had to reel that in.
Ironically, you say reel it in, but she's still going viral on TikTok. So I mean,
She just
nothing's
a new
really
platform.
changed.
A new platform.
New platforms every day. Like, take it to the top, huh? Take it to the top. But I promise y'all, I was reserved when I was younger. Like, no, I moved around a lot. It was hard for me to make friends. And so, like, I felt like almost as a defense mechanism, I, like, built, like, an outward personality. Because I'm like, well, damn. Like, it's the only way you can be noticed or hold people's attention before they, like, move and they're gone. It's, like, be fun and, like, capitalize on what we can in the moment. So, like, first impressions and, like, really winning people over in the beginning was I really feel like it was a defense mechanism for me growing up. But it all led me here. I love me then and now. So, what about you, Abigail?
Period.
Who was young Abby?
Oh.
High school Abby.
Stop looking at me like that.
High school Abby specifically.
High school, I think I had finally found like my community. Shout out to my high school friends that we're friends with to this day.
Oh my God, I love them.
Yes.
I love your
Moving
I
along.
love your high school
Shout out to
friends.
Renee and Alexis. Crossover episode.
The crossover episode we needed. Oh my gosh, I love
That's
them.
so funny. But yeah, y'all threw me off. Anyway, yes, I feel like I was telling Taylor this because we were having a conversation before this, and she was like, expecting me to talk about like my young self, and I was like, no, I need to talk to 21, 22, 23, and that was 4 or 5 years ago. Like that was, it wasn't giving. But Yeah, high school, I was finally in my bag, like actual bag. I was getting my straight A's. Me and my friends weren't going to class. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. We weren't going to class because we had A's in the classes, so the people weren't really watching us.
Where were you going?
What do you mean? Home.
You left?
Yeah.
See, that's that Prince County Public Schools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a whole situation, actually. We had a substitute for about a year. And so, like, you knock on the door. It was, like, rotating substitute, so they don't really know who's who, like.
Oh, my goodness.
It was like, oh, yeah, we need to, we got, And then he was like, okay, do you have a note? Yeah. And then,
And you just walked out.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Rebellious, Abigail.
It wasn't rebellious. I had an A. Like, what am I there
But it was
for?
still because you're supposed to be in school. What you do outside of school?
Anyway.
What you was doing going home early?
Literally watching Law and Order, like, nothing.
Screaming.
I'm so weak.
But yes, I feel like high school was great. I was finally in my bag. But up until then, I was like more so of a lone. I don't want to say loner. I enjoyed my time alone. That hasn't changed either.
Yeah.
But High School Musical, the Disney Channel was my bag. I was just at home watching those things. And then my mom, she's been in the childcare industry for as long as we've been here. So I was playing games, but it wasn't like fun games. It was educational games all the time. Always learning. So, yeah, I would say we could dive into a little bit more later, but
That's cute.
reserved, and then I was in my bag, and then tech was a little, but yeah.
I mean, while we're talking about it, guys, we actually have something special to tell you guys. It actually is our special edition birthday episode.
Period.
It's actually our birthday episode. Not it was one of our birthdays. Not it was two of our birthdays. Not it was three of our birthdays. Guys, it was all four of our birthdays in a span of a month.
Like crazy.
Shout out to us, like big Taurus energy.
None of that.
Big Jim energy. Birthday girls coming up, birthday girls shutting it down. So I feel like that was perfect for us to be able to reflect on the many years that have passed as we've gotten older. Whew.
Yes.
28, babe. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But I just think it's crazy that so much time has even passed from when we were in our when we started our 20s. Like, I remember my 20th birthday.
I remember my 20th birthday.
And it was like, why do I feel like so far away, but literally just yesterday? Like, it's a trippy experience, but very fun, getting older. And I do have some things to tell my 20-year-old self.
Why don't we start with you then?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I was just giving a segue to, alley-oop.
No, we want to hear the
thought.
Might as well give
Since
it.
you have so many gems for
That's
you.
so crazy. That's so crazy. I don't know. Like, number one I would tell myself at 20, you have no clue who you are. And it's like, that's not even a bad thing. Like, it's not even a bad thing. You have just not experienced enough life to even like formulate what you like, don't like, what you're interested in. Like, the world is really your oyster, and you're like you've barely scratched the surface of who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do. And I would tell my younger self to open up my view a little bit and be more receptive of what there is to learn in every situation than trying to prove to myself or others that, like, I know what the right thing is, or I'm on the right path, or I'm this, I'm that, just to accumulate like accolades and stuff, and to look good on paper, but to genuinely like live life and like gain experience and become who I genuinely am supposed to be, and just like become a woman, like be a person, learn all this stuff about myself. Like, girl, calm down. Like, really, like, yeah, I would tell her, like, it's fine. There's more, but I want to start there.
I mean, I think the first thing that I would probably tell myself is, like, don't be afraid to be you. I think in a lot of ways, again, because of my upbringing, I had to separate how I express myself. And so, like, I think I was very used to people saying different pieces of me. And I know you all joke about it like all the time. It's just like Taylor has 50 different personalities. Like, yes. And there's a reason behind that. But it's just like something that you kind of have to do like at school, like in front of the teachers. Like you're expected to be one way because my mom was not playing none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I had to be this way. And then with my friends, certain friend groups, because I had lots of friend groups, everyone kind of saw a different piece of me. And I wish I was more so just all of me in every space, like unapologetically. And I know people start to learn like different things. Like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't even know. I'm like, yeah, because like you're not on the team. I'm sorry. I forgot which friend group I was with. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm so weak.
I feel like in a lot of different ways, I got so used to being very different. And I don't know. I just really wish I tapped into like who Taylor was and investing solely into that and my personality and who I wanted to be, and not letting anything change me depending on my circumstance. Even though, like, of course, like, you know, you gotta kind of cold switch in a way, but you know, that would be mine.
I like that.
Yes.
We love all of you.
Thank you.
It's very funny how you said and acknowledge that you have 50 different personalities, but every time
That's
I say
crazy.
it, she's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
You know what we
Blah,
mean.
like, but you could tell the people that you got 50 personalities.
I
but
mean-
you can't tell your friends that you do. Like, I don't understand.
Well, at least you get to see all 50. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think you've seen most of them.
Okay.
We've seen
Let
50
me
today.
let me pull out. let me introduce a new one. What y'all ready for?
Oh gosh.
No, it's not even like that. You know, I just like it's just depending on the mood, the vibe.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, the group should be very grateful that you all get to see a lot of different Taylors, the vulnerability, the trust in place. I think that what we should focus on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know how we got there, but
Thanks
yeah.
for sharing.
Because you wanted to harp on it.
Whatever. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Mare, what about you?
What I would tell my younger self is to be more adventurous. I feel like when I was younger, I was always like in my comfortability, like, you know, I went to like the same dining hall, did the same like watch like the same shows. I think towards like my senior year, I definitely like dabbled a little bit more and like did things that were out of my comfort zone. But I feel like in like my freshman year, sophomore year, like that was the first time I was ever away from family. And I wish I took advantage more of like doing. Like, I don't even think I've ever hiked what are some like
The Cascades.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever hiked the Cascades. I know, I'll go back and do stuff like that. Yeah, but I mean, I think there was opportunities where I could have, but something happened. But I would tell myself to be a little bit more adventurous and go out of my comfort zone. I think I've gotten like better throughout the years, but since it was like the first time I was away from my parents, I think I was just like, you know, I stuck with the same group of friends like throughout the 4 years, and like I didn't take advantage of like being away from them and being like 4 hours.
Damn.
You know? So that's what I'll tell my younger self.
Interesting. Y'all know they say the advice that you would give to your younger self is the same advice you need to take now or hear now. Do you guys feel like that's true?
No.
Well then.
Okay.
Elaborate.
No. Yes and no. I was gonna add to both of your points. Mine would have been assimilation is not a good thing. I almost argue it's like the worst thing you could do for yourself. And so now I would say previously, I want to say before college, I would say I was fine. Just like my friends allowed me to be myself, so I was fine doing that. But then when I got to college, it's like, it's something in that atmosphere like makes you feel like you need to be a certain way or act a certain way when it's just
That
unnatural.
mountain water.
It is the mountain water. But like to
that thin
answer
air.
your question, the reason why I say yes and no is like, yes, certain things, but I think now I feel so much freer that I don't do that. And so that's what I would advise people my age or like my younger self. Like I realized when my mental health started going down is when I was trying to like be what I felt like other people wanted me to be so that I can not so I can assimilate, so I wouldn't like stick out as much. But I personally think that's the worst thing you could do for yourself, because then it prolongs the amount of time that it takes for you to figure out who you are and what you like. So yes, that's my advice.
I completely agree. I could definitely see my younger self, maybe even sometimes now, because there's almost like a layer of like, I don't know, like when things are familiar and things are quote unquote normal, there's like a sense of like comfort there. Like, oh, I don't stand out. I'm not ruffling any feathers. I'm like not giving somebody a reason not to like me. And I feel like I struggled with that when I was younger, maybe because just, you know how it is. But I agree. That is something that like I'm reflecting now, and I'm like, you could be you, babe. You could be you.
Be who you are.
I feel like that's the one thing that I can say about like myself, my person.
I love how Mary just passes right over it. She was like, anyway.
I love that she did that.
Anyway. Anyways.
Okay, I'm so okay.
Hey,
Continue.
Tap back in, girlie. Tap back in.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I think that's the
So unserious.
I think that's the one thing that I can say about like myself, is that my personality has pretty much been like the same since I was younger till now. Like especially when I'm comfortable with someone, that's when I'm like a little bit more like jokey and like I'm, low key comedian. It's good,
Period. That's how it gets out.
Got her jokey
We like
jokes.
it.
But I think I was for the most part, I don't think I ever try to like fake anything. And also it's the same thing with my high school self. I was with like the same group of like the core friends. So I never really cared to be like popular. And I think even in college too, I had like the same group of like friends in college that like whoever I made like friends with that like during freshman year, I was like with them till even now. But that's one thing, like I don't think I ever tried to be something that or at least I don't know, maybe personality wise, I think I wasn't trying to be super,
Yes,
popular girly. Yeah.
she was herself.
I would like to think, I don't know. Someone call me out, maybe not. Now I'm like second guessing. What?
Why?
Don't second guess yourself.
I don't know.
You
Now
said
I'm
what you
thinking.
said.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
feel
who
like-
you are.
No, I really feel like how I was in high school, college is how I am now, but more mature.
Period.
Ooh, mature.
Man.
Like, what was I going through? Like, why was I doing that? Y'all, I was acting up.
It was a fun bria, though.
I guess. Ooh. You can see me having like flashbacks. Like, ooh, she was cool though.
She was a
I
cool
think
girl.
that
She was.
like if I saw her now, like if I saw me, I'd be like, not too much.
I think it was necessary
She
for the
cool though.
time.
It was very much necessary for the time.
That is my next point, guys. It's almost like we're locked in. No matter what I think about my past self, or like I deal with cringe. I don't know if out there, if you listen, if you deal with cringe, I deal with some real deal cringe when I think about my past self and my actions or mistakes or whatever. But I find solace in the fact that I literally would not be here. I would not be who I am. Like I not only did I have to be that person to get to who I am, I still am that person. Like my 13-year-old self, 6-year-old self, 1-year-old self, 20-year-old self is still here. Like I'm still that person. So it's very trippy to think about and just like experience in life and how time is not real and all that stuff. But you got to build compassion for yourself and understanding. And I feel like that's where I'm trying to get, is like a true, deep understanding and acceptance of myself at all stages. And I think that's when when people ask, how you know you grown, or like you grown, like how you know? That's when I'm gonna say I'm grown. Is when I'm like, ooh, I know myself, I accept myself, I'm grown because I'm here, honey. I'm here. I feel like that one comes with age.
It's so interesting that you mentioned like being grown. That is such like, that might be number one thing I needed to tell the younger me. You're not grown
At all.
You're a child. Like, one, that you're not grown. Two, cut the independence. Like, baby, be dependent. Need somebody, need about 20 of them. Like,
Oh my gosh.
oh my goodness. I really have been thinking back, you know, now that I have circulated the globe for another year, or with the globe for another year, whatever it is, about younger Taylor and how, like, from age 5, I was just so independent. For what? Where? Who do you think you are? Like, I remember I would just tell my mom, I'm like, all right, Mom, when I turn 5, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start soccer. I'm going to start karate. I'm going to sleep in my room, because I was sleeping in, like, my brother's room because I was, like, scared of the dark time. I'm not going to be scared of the dark anymore, and this is what's going to happen. And then I did it at 5. And then ever since then, I just be like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And I went and did it. And it's like, girl, who are you? And my parents would get so mad because it's like, or I make my own plans. Like, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. They're like, you need to ask permission. Like, this is not okay. Like, I was just so grown and independent. And I think that has, I mean, unfortunately, even though I'm learning, I'm growing, it shaped a lot of my romantic relationships in an interesting way. And I'm like, dang, why am I like that? And I got to look back at younger me. She's like, this girl thought she was just so grown and could do whatever she wanted. And I really feel like I didn't tap into my childhood the way I should have. And there was like other factors that made me independent and made me feel like I had to grow up a lot quicker. Another story for another time. But I really wish I had like just sat in those moments and lived in that space, because now, like, adulthood, like, God, it is adulting. It's hard, and I wish I could fully sit in that just like joyful ignorance is bliss type of vibe. Oh, yeah. As long as possible, but I was like always such in a rush. And I think everyone is in like a rush to grow up. It's like, oh, I just cannot wait till I'm 16. I could get the car, and like I could do this, and I'm gonna be grown, and I cannot wait to get out of my parents' house. Look, please, that's free stuff right there. Tap in, the insurance, the phone plan, they paying everything. Like, I just wish I didn't rush that process, because I feel like I would have learned a lot more about myself and about how to be an adult, whereas I, you know, ended up at college just like, I can make something shake, but it was, I think, a larger learning curve on my end, because I didn't enjoy my childhood years the way I should have. So being too grown and independent, cut it out.
That's funny.
Well said, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of young people out there need to hear that right now.
Yeah, and like even thinking about how the prom. So prom's been happening. I don't know if y'all been on TikTok. Prom's been happening, and it's like so funny to hear like the millennials or the older Gen Z folks talk about, oh, I'm so glad I was in high school at XYZ period, because the way these people are spending like $400 on dresses, like they are beat to the gods, like bust down 30, like spending a whole lot of money on prom. And it's like, you know, that's their experience. They want to have fun. They want a good time. Not judging it, but it's just, everybody's been like, oh, I'm so glad I was in high school during a time where it was like okay to be ugly. Like, it's not okay to be ugly in high school right now. Like, I can't imagine what that does to their self-esteem and stuff. And it's just like everybody wants to look grown. I know we've talked about it in a previous podcast about like how they don't have that preteen, like that role model. So they're always looking at older folks, you know, Kim K, whoever it is, like, oh, that's who they want to emulate. And so that's what their makeup looks like. That's how they dress. They dress a lot older these days. It's like, dang, like what happened to being a preteen? What happened to being a teenager? Like, y'all want to be 20, you know, 20 so bad. And I'm just like, oh gosh, I'm glad I was able to be a teenager, a preteen, and be ugly.
Y'all, to be a child again. But low key, there are some things that I did when I was younger that I wish that I did now. I think there might be some advice that my younger self could give myself today.
Like what?
She would tell me like, why do you care? Like, she
Facts.
literally, why do you care?
Times 1,000.
Like, what's the big deal? Like, oh, you're not having fun. Like, you're literally not having fun.
You're
with
not
it.
just vibing.
You're not just vibing. Like, you're not just vibing, girl. Like, what? Like, stop caring so much what people have to say and like do your thing. Like, who cares? Like, literally, who cares? I feel like that was my whole mantra. Like, in high school, getting into college, like, who cares? Like, I am that girl. I'm going to be that girl. I'm going to do things that I like. And who's going to stop me? Like, I think that's what it was. Who's going to stop me? Who's going to tell me no? Like, that kind of thing. And it was like this ignorant confidence.
I was going to say, like, what happened? What do you think happened to that?
Life. Social media.
Oh, man.
Not being an individual or being unique, like just trying to follow like the status quo, or there's a certain beauty standard that everyone's trying to achieve, like all the negative comments, like all of that.
It was likes on Instagram. Like,
Your self-worth.
Yo, we were like growing up in like college was happening for the like do it for the gram era. Like, I just wanted to do it for the gram at that point, and maybe I lost myself for a little bit. But I liked the courage that my younger self had. Just didn't care. We'll tap back into that for 28 in the right way. Now, girl.
Yeah, I think I share the same sentiments, but I don't think for me it was Instagram, because I feel like early Instagram, they still didn't care. You could really post whatever comparatively.
Not the OG days.
Yeah, like the OG days, you got your 3 likes. Oh, okay.
I'm so weak.
Kicks of the day, like, period. You got your kicks of the day.
I'm so weak.
Even MySpace, like, those things were fun. They didn't have as much weight on them as it does right now.
I'm telling you, 2016 is when it all changed on Instagram.
Something changed in the atmosphere and it just went left.
It was like the first time, this is so off track. It was like the first time that like I saw a regular person get like 300 likes on a photo on Instagram. Like, I want you guys to go back to 2016. I know it sounds stupid now, but like back in 2016, it was like, oh my God, like we're celebrities. Like, oh my God, like you can literally get 1,000 followers. Like you can, like, it was just, it was a thing. Like it was just a thing.
When you saw an outlier, you were like,
like why are you not doing it for the gram? Like, why are you not like curating it for the gram? Like, good times. We should do a whole social media episode.
No, that would be interesting.
Embarrassing. I had to scrub it.
But yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe that's also a repressed memory. But there was a certain time where I would like get up, like do my hair, like like just on top of things. And then it hit a certain point that I was never on top of things. And then I would like go watch my show, eat my food, like enjoy myself. But then there was a certain point in time where I was just worrying about life. And I'm like, what happened? I don't know what it was. So yeah, I'm on the same tip as you. Like, I don't know what age that was. It had to have been like 12 or 13 or something. But like, tell that, or whatever age it was, tell myself now, well, tell 20, 21, 22 self, like, same thing. It's really not that deep at all.
It really not that deep.
But it's really not that deep.
Really not that deep.
I would also say, like, your friendships matter. They can really make or break. Not gonna lie. And especially, like, community specifically. Like, I can identify points in time where, like, I didn't have the best group of friends. And I was just doing things that just were very outside of what I even wanted to, like, that came naturally to me, or like things that I just didn't want to do originally, and I was convinced that I wanted to do it. So I would say friends are definitely make or break. It's not just vibes. Life is not just vibes, okay? No matter what people try to tell you, no matter how much we joke like vibes, life is really not just vibes. It's like one decision at a time, and like it all accumulates into something greater that like you can't undo per se, but you could just work with what you have. So I would definitely say, like, if your friend is talking down on you at the age of 15, let that girlie go. Because at the age of 25, she going to be ruining your wedding. Anyways.
And that's on the company you keep. Girl. That's so real, though. That's so real. Oh. Young Bria. Girl. Love you though. I'm delusional. I like it though.
It's fun to be a little
Lululemon.
Is there any advice you would give to just younger people now today? Not just your necessary.
I just don't
self.
know how much, because it's like, I think the reason why I don't have as much to say now is like your point about it kind of makes you who you are, but we don't want people to go to the point of no return. But like, it also makes you who you are, and a lot of it comes with like age. It's just so funny how all the cliches ring true. The more like people just say it over and you're like, whatever. But then like you start hitting close to 30, like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. It really makes a lot of sense. So it's like now I'm kind of struggling with advice I would give, because it's like, you'll learn, but like I don't want you to learn the hard way. So I would just say find healthy content. I'm trying to find something that's applicable to now. If it doesn't seem or sound right, actually, let me say this. Look at the fruit of people's lives. It's very easy to ingest like what people have to say, but like look at their actual lives. Like there are people that are saying, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. But like, are they on the news for something crazy? Like, are they, do their family members, do they speak well of them? Like, not everything is jealousy and hate and da-da-da. Like, please just actually look at how they treat people, like things like that. Because it's very easy to idolize people in this day and age. And I feel like that's where people nowadays go wrong as far as young people. Oh, I want to be like the girls in Love and Hip Hop. Babe, where are the girls in Love and Hip Hop now? Like, what are they doing now? Like, maybe there's some successes there. No shade to people, but I'm just saying in general, people who put out lifestyles that aren't the greatest or as attainable or are promoting not the greatest behavior, please see if that's actually working for them before you try to incorporate that in your own life.
Abby with the words.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all I've been saying today. That was a good one.
That was good.
This is really random, but I feel like what I would tell younger people now in terms of like college and university, first of all, is like very, very, very expensive. Like, don't knock community college. Don't knock taking a year or two off to figure out what you want to do and then going back to school, because a lot of people like tend to just get into a major just because like they're in university. And I think it's just really important to figure out like what you want to do before you spend like thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, student loan debt is such a huge thing. Like, prioritize what you want to do before, you know, taking out loans. Like, we were out here 18 years old taking out full like $50,000 loans.
Like, who let me do that?
And like, people are really suffering today because of that. So just figure out like what you want to do, and don't try to, you know, you feel the pressure of like outside sources and like other people, like, oh, that's what they're doing, so that's something that I have to do. But just really figure out like, you know,
How to run your race.
yes, exactly.
Stay in your lane.
Is that what you would say?
Go outside more.
Yeah.
Please.
I think just understanding like the young people right now and what's been going on, like I'm really tapped into education, of course, and recognize that it's been very hard on the teachers, and just developmental stuff is questionable these days. I think perfection is it's non-existent. And so it's not to say like, oh, you can't make mistakes, you can't learn, you can't grow. But what you do when you're younger does help formulate, you know, who you become. And like, they have to step away from social media. They have to be able to set themselves apart from what everybody else is doing. Like, I be seeing these kids like beating up on teachers, and like, you know, Jackie comes home with her stories like all the time. And it's like sad because it's a lot of different things happening in society, but listen, you just gotta step away from what you see and know that not everybody can do that. Not everybody can act that way. Not everybody can just, you know, do whatever and have no consequences. And I think just how much media consumption has fueled it, whether it is music or television, movies, and social media, it makes you really desensitized to like proper behaviors in society. And I don't think that they understand that and come to that realization. And like then working with college students, they're like, oh, I'm actually being held accountable. Like, that's crazy. Like, I can't just do what I want. Like, I'm not entitled. Like, no, bud. And I think they have a really hard time understanding that, and it like kind of throws their world into a whirlwind. So, yeah, I don't know. I said a lot of things there, but perfection, again, non-existent, and get off of media. It's okay. Pick up a book.
That's what I'm saying.
Go get a bike.
Read.
Touch
Stretch.
some grass.
Maybe stretch. I'm telling you, like right now, just start stretching, please. But I mean, it's hard for the young people these days. I will say it's hard for the young people, and I'm not going to be somebody who, when I speak on younger generations, like it's not peaches and like I understand their dynamics that I just will not understand being somebody who was born in just a different time. So props to the young people getting through, because it's rough out here. If it's rough for me, like with the resources and the knowledge that I have of who I am and how the world works, I already know it's rough, like trying to like navigate this and learn. What I would advocate for the young people is just to like dig a little bit deeper. Like things, like you said, things are really not what they seem. And with social media being so ingrained, and like other people's opinions being so ingrained in like how you develop as a person, like just dig a little bit deeper, like read more, like truly check in with yourself to see what feels right and what like doesn't click, like what seems a little bit off. Like really develop your own opinions for yourself. Like you will be better for it.
Find
like, your joy. Like actually ask yourself, like, do you like that? How does that make you feel? Like really listen to yourself. So I don't know. I would just, good luck, y'all.
Be easy. Yeah. Good luck to them.
I'm playing, but no, actually stretch and like save your money. Well, guys.
Miriam, what are you about to say?
No, I was just gonna say I feel like there's so much that can be said about this topic.
Yeah.
So please, for anyone who's listening, the 3 people.
What didn't we say it was like?
Oh, it's 10
It's
now.
10 now.
It's 10 now.
We're at 10. We're
It's
at
10.
No, I'm joking. I'm gonna stop making that. But I feel like there's so much to say about this topic. So if there's anything that is in the dome for anyone who's watching, they should leave it down below.
Comment, like, share. Y'all already know the drill. On the IG, hit the DMs. We're on TikTok, making TikToks. Okay, we're on YouTube, podcasts everywhere. You know the drill.
Period.
Guys, it's been fun. Let's sign off to the people. And as always, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in with the 20-some, with the Say Some podcast. We're going to work on that, but that's fine. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. We're cute. You're cute. What else could you want? Purr.
Bye.
Not the double.
She did a double